in the show notes or over on the blog at paperflowdesigns.com. Today, we are headed to the happiest place on earth.
Oh, fun.
Disneyland. But we're adding a crafty twist.
Okay.
We're going to see what business tips we can glean from the masters of the magical experience and apply them to our online ventures.
I think we can all learn a thing or two from Disney.
Absolutely. We'll be taking a look at my blog post over at Paperflow Designs, where I share 10 must-have Disney 3D print files that you can use to bring a little Disney magic into your life. And we're also diving into a fascinating YouTube video by Creative Hive called Growing My Online Store, using these 8 tricks I learned from Disney.
Oh, that Creative Hive channel is a goldmine of information. I love their practical approach to business.
Yeah.
What stood out to you from the video?
Well, it all started with a simple churro.
Cheers.
Yeah. Apparently, those things are a gold mine for Disney, but it's not just about the deliciousness.
Okay.
It's about how they're strategically placed and marketed throughout the park.
Interesting.
It got May, the creator of the video, thinking about how those same strategies could apply to her online store. So she ended up observing 8 key things that Disney does incredibly well. And guess what?
What?
They can totally be applied to crafting businesses too.
Churros business strategies.
Yeah.
This is an intriguing combination.
I know, right?
Let's dive in.
Okay, so the first thing May talks about in her video is the concept of funnels. And we're not talking about the kind you use to pour batter for those delicious funnel cakes. Though those are certainly tempting.
Although funnel cakes do have a certain strategic placement in amusement parks, don't they?
You're absolutely right. They know where to put those tempting treats. But in this case, funnels refers to how Disney carefully guides visitors through a planned experience. Think about those winding queues for rides. They aren't just for crowd control. They're strategically designed to build anticipation and seamlessly move people through the experience.
It's like they're leading you on a carefully choreographed journey. From the moment you step into the park to the moment you leave.
Yeah.
There's a purpose behind every twist and turn.
Exactly. And that's something we can apply to our online stores too. Your website should act like a funnel, guiding customers smoothly from the moment they land on your homepage to the checkout page.
Okay.
Each step should be clear and intuitive.
It's all about making that customer journey as enjoyable and frictionless as possible, just like Disney does.
Now let's talk about those 3D printed goodies from my blog post.
Okay.
Imagine creating a funnel around one of those designs. Say you're selling 3D printed Mickey Mouse ears. You could start with a blog post or social media content, showcasing different ways to customize those ears.
Okay.
Then you could offer a free downloadable template for a simple ear design, leading them to your shop where you sell more elaborate designs and even offer custom printing services.
That's a brilliant application of the funnel concept. You're essentially guiding customers deeper into your world, offering them value at each stage of the journey.
Exactly. And speaking of offering value, May's next observation from Disneyland was the abundance of those tempting snack carts strategically placed throughout the park. Those churros, popcorn, and Mickey-shaped ice cream bars. They're not just there to satisfy cravings. They're carefully placed to encourage impulse purchases.
Ah, yes, the art of the upsell. Disney is a master at that.
Right, and the interesting thing is that Disney doesn't just slap any old snack cart anywhere. They think carefully about placement and presentation. For example, placing a churro cart near a popular ride exit, when people are tired and looking for a treat, is a surefire way to boost sales.
It's all about understanding customer behavior and anticipating their needs, even before they realize they have them.
Right.
Now, how can we apply this to our online craft stores?
Think about those add-on items or bundles you could offer.
Okay.
If someone is purchasing a set of 3D printed Disney-themed coasters from your shop, maybe you could also suggest a matching keychain or a set of decorative magnets.
It's about making it easy for customers to treat themselves to a little something extra, just like those churro carts strategically placed throughout Disneyland.
Yeah.
But just like the churro cart, the offer needs to make sense to the customer and complement their main purchase.
Now here's something else that blew my mind.
What's that?
Those churros, they're not actually fried fresh at each cart.
Really?
Disney pre-cooks them off-site.
Wow.
And then simply reheats them to ensure quick service and consistent quality. And guess what?
What?
The same goes for those giant turkey legs.
No way.
They're pre-smoked and cooked before arriving at the park.
That's fascinating. They've streamlined the process to maximize efficiency and ensure a smooth customer experience, even with those massive crowds.
Exactly. Now, I know we can't all pre-cook our crafts,
Uh-huh.
but this got me thinking. Are there parts of your process that you could streamline or pre-prepare?
Absolutely. It's all about identifying those bottlenecks in your workflow and finding ways to smooth them out. Maybe you could batch create certain components of your crafts, pre-cut fabric pieces, or pre-package your shipping materials.
These little things can save you a ton of time in the long run and help you fulfill orders more efficiently.
And happier customers often lead to repeat business and positive reviews.
Yeah.
It's a win-win.
Okay, so Mia's next observation was about how Disney maintains its magic, even when things aren't perfect.
Okay.
She visited Disneyland on a rainy day,
Oh, no.
and despite the less-than-ideal weather, the park was still packed.
Wow.
People were still willing to wait in line for rides, buy those overpriced souvenirs, and just soak up the Disney atmosphere.
That speaks volumes about the power of Disney's brand and the quality of their product. They've created an experience that people trust and value, even when things don't go exactly as planned.
And that's a powerful lesson for any business owner. When you create high-quality products that people love, they're more likely to stick with you, even when there are bumps in the road.
It's about building that trust and loyalty,
Yeah.
just like Disney has. But how do they manage to charge a premium for things like rain ponchos when you could get the same thing for a fraction of the price elsewhere?
Well, that brings us to May's next observation, the power of branding.
Ooh, I like this one.
Before heading to Disneyland, she picked up a basic rain poncho from a drugstore for a few dollars.
Yeah.
But once they got to the park,
Yeah.
they saw tons of people sporting Disney-branded ponchos that looked almost identical to the drugstore version, except they were selling for 3 times the price.
The power of the mouse. People are willing to pay a premium for that Disney logo.
Exactly. And it's not just because they're diehard Disney fans. It's because that logo represents a certain level of quality, experience, and even emotion.
It's a reminder of happy memories, childhood dreams, and the promise of a magical experience.
Yeah.
And that has value.
And this is something that we as craft business owners need to think about. Are we building a brand that people connect with on an emotional level? Are we creating products that represent something more than just their physical form?
Think that those 3D printed Disney designs, they're not just plastic objects, they're tangible representations of beloved characters,
Yeah.
stories, and experiences.
Exactly, and that's where the real magic lies.
Speaking of magic, May observed something really clever about how Disney handles their special events.
Okay.
Disneyland was closing early on the day she visited
Oh.
to prepare for a special After Dark event. And guess what?
What?
They required a separate ticket for the evening event, even for guests who had already been in the park all day.
Essentially, they turned one day into 2 separate revenue streams. That's brilliant.
It is. And it got me thinking, are there ways that crafters could apply this concept to their own businesses?
Absolutely. Think about offering limited edition collections, exclusive pre-sales for your newsletter subscribers, or even workshops where you teach people how to create their own versions of your popular designs.
You could even offer different tiers of products.
Yeah.
Maybe a basic version of your 3D printed design is available to everyone, but a deluxe version with extra details or customization options is available at a higher price point.
Exactly. It's about thinking creatively and offering your customers different levels of access and exclusivity, just like Disney does with their special events. It's all about giving people a reason to want more.
Now, this next observation from May might seem a bit unusual at first, but it actually makes a lot of sense.
Okay.
She was amazed by how Disney uses animatronics to create immersive experiences with minimal staff needed to operate the rides.
Those animatronics are seriously impressive. They bring so much life and personality to the Disney parks.
Exactly. And while we might not all have the budget to build our own animatronic armies, there's a valuable lesson here about automation. Are there tasks or processes in your business that you could automate to free up your time and resources?
Ooh, I like where you're going with this.
Think about email marketing, social media scheduling, or even using design software to create templates for your most popular 3D printing designs.
These tools can take care of those repetitive tasks, allowing you to focus on the creative and strategic parts of your business. Just like Disney's Imagineers can focus on designing those incredible animatronic experiences.
It's all about working smarter, not harder, right?
Absolutely. Now let's talk about one final observation from May's Disneyland adventure. The power of social proof.
Ah, yes, the classic monkey see, monkey do effect.
Exactly.
Hmm.
May admitted that she wasn't initially that interested in churros, but she and her husband ended up buying 3,
Free churro.
simply because everyone else was raving about them and
Yeah.
posting pictures on social media.
It's hard to resist the allure of something that everyone seems to be enjoying, right?
And that's why social proof is so powerful for businesses, especially online. When people see others enjoying your products,
Yeah.
it builds trust and credibility.
Think about it. We are more likely to try something new if we see that other people, especially people we trust or admire, are already enjoying it.
Right.
It's like a built-in endorsement system.
And in the online world, social proof can take many forms. Encourage your customers to leave reviews, share photos of their purchases, and tag you on social media.
User-generated content is gold.
It is. It's authentic, relatable, and incredibly effective in building trust and encouraging sales. So don't be afraid to ask your customers to share their experiences.
And be sure to highlight that social proof on your website and social media channels. Let potential customers see how much others love your creations.
Exactly. Let's face it, sometimes all it takes is seeing a bunch of happy people munching on churros to convince you that you need one too.
And if those churros are 3D printed and shaped like Mickey Mouse, well, that's just next level marketing genius.
You're absolutely right. Now, I know we've covered a lot of ground here, but I want to make sure we have time to discuss one more crucial aspect of the Disney experience that I think is super important for crafters: the heart and soul behind the magic.
I'm all ears.
Well, I think it's time we explore May's experience at Universal Studios after her Disneyland trip and how it compares. Because even with all the amazing technology and business strategies in place, there's something special about that Disney magic that's hard to replicate.
You know, it's funny you mentioned Universal Studios. In her video, May actually talks about how her trip there,
Yeah.
right after Disneyland, really highlighted the difference in those intangible qualities.
Yes. She said that even though Universal has some incredible rides and attractions, it just lacked that same heart and soul that she felt at Disney.
It's like the difference between a meal that's simply prepared versus one that's made with love. The ingredients might be similar, but the end result is just different.
That's a perfect analogy, and it really resonated with me because I think that same principle applies to crafting. It's not just about the technical skills or the materials you use. It's about the passion and care you put into every creation.
It's about infusing your work with a little bit of your own magic, that spark of joy and creativity that makes it truly special.
Exactly. Think about those 3D printed designs we were discussing earlier. Anyone with a 3D printer and the right file can technically create those objects.
Yeah.
But what sets your creations apart is the love, attention to detail, and unique style you bring to the process.
It's like the difference between a mass-produced souvenir and a handcrafted treasure.
Right.
One is made with efficiency in mind,
Yeah.
while the other is made with heart.
And that difference is palpable, even if you can't quite put your finger on it. It's what elevates a simple object into something truly meaningful and memorable.
Now, how does this heart and soul factor translate into a tangible business strategy for crafters? It seems a bit less concrete than, say, funnels or automation.
That's a great question. I think it comes down to authenticity and building a genuine connection with your customers. People can sense when you're truly passionate about what you do, and that passion is contagious.
It's like that saying, do what you love, and you'll never work a day in your life.
Right.
When you're genuinely excited about your work, it shows. And that enthusiasm can be a powerful marketing tool.
Think about those small details. That can make a big difference.
Okay.
Maybe you include a handwritten thank you note with each order, or you share behind-the-scenes glimpses of your creative process on social media.
Or perhaps you donate a portion of your profits to a cause you care about, showing your customers that you're not just about making a profit, but also about making a positive impact.
Those small gestures can make a huge difference in how people perceive your brand and create a lasting impression.
It's about going beyond the transactional and creating an experience that resonates with people on a deeper level, just like Disney does with its parks and its storytelling.
You know, one of the things that May mentioned in her video was that she felt like Disney really excels at creating a sense of community. Even though you're surrounded by thousands of strangers, there's this shared sense of joy and wonder that connects everyone.
Yes, it's like everyone is in on the magic together. And I think that's something that crafters can tap into as well.
Absolutely. Think about the online crafting communities
Hmm.
that already exist. There are Facebook groups, forums, and social media hashtags dedicated to every type of craft imaginable.
It's a great way to connect with fellow crafters, share ideas, and support each other's work.
And don't underestimate the power of building your own community around your brand.
Hmm.
Maybe you start a Facebook group for your customers,
Okay.
or you host online crafting challenges or workshops.
It's about creating a space where people can connect, share their passion for crafting,
Yeah.
and feel like they're part of something special.
And when people feel like they belong, they're more likely to become loyal customers
Yeah.
and advocates for your brand.
Yeah.
They'll tell their friends, share your work on social media, and come back for more.
It's like creating your own little corner of the Disney magic.
Yeah.
Right? In your own crafting community.
Exactly. And that brings us to a really important point
Mm.
that I want to emphasize. The importance of giving back and using your crafting skills for good, just like Disney does through its philanthropic efforts.
That's a beautiful sentiment. It's easy to get caught up in the business side of crafting, but we should never forget the power of creativity to make a positive impact on the world.
Think about the joy you bring to others with your handmade gifts, or the sense of accomplishment you feel when you create something beautiful and unique. Imagine if you could amplify that impact by donating your creations to charity, teaching others how to craft, or using your skills to support a cause you care about.
It's like sprinkling a little extra pixie dust on the world.
I love that. And it
Yeah.
doesn't have to be a grand gesture. Even small acts of kindness can make a difference. Maybe you offer a free crafting workshop at a local community center, or you donate a portion of your sales to a charity that resonates with you.
Or maybe you simply take the time to teach a friend or family member how to craft, sharing your skills and passion with someone new.
Those small acts of generosity can have a ripple effect, spreading joy and creativity far beyond your immediate circle. And that's something worth striving for, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. It's a reminder that crafting is more than just a hobby or a business. It's a way to connect with others, express ourselves, and make the world a little bit brighter.
And on that note, I think it's time to wrap up this magical crafting adventure. Don't forget to check out the show notes for links to all the resources we discussed today, including my blog post on those 10 must-have Disney 3D print files. And if you're looking for even more crafting inspiration, be sure to sign up for our newsletter. You can find the sign-up link in the show notes or over on the blog at paperlowdesigns.com.
It's been a delight exploring the intersection of Disney magic and crafty business strategies with you today.
The pleasure was all mine. Until next time, happy crafting, everyone.
I think that's such an important point to remember. Sometimes, in the hustle and bustle of running a business,
Yeah.
we can lose sight of the simple joy of creating.
It's easy to get caught up in metrics, algorithms, and marketing strategies.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's the love for our craft that keeps us going.
And that love shines through in the things we create. It's what makes our work special and connects us with our customers on a deeper level.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into the world of Disney and crafting, I want to leave our listeners with this thought.
Okay, I'm ready.
What if we approached our crafting businesses with the same level of intention and attention to detail that Disney brings to its parks?
Ooh, I like that. What do you mean?
Think about it. Disney doesn't just create rides, they create experiences. They consider every detail, from the music playing in the background to the scent wafting through the air.
And those details work together to create a cohesive and immersive world that transports you to another place. Exactly. So how can we apply that same level of thoughtfulness to our own crafting businesses?
I think it starts with understanding our brand story and what makes our work unique.
And then we can think about how we can translate that story into every aspect of our business, from our product design to our packaging to our online presence.
It's about creating a world that our customers want to be a part of, a world that evokes a certain feeling or emotion.
Just like Disney does with its magic.
Beautifully said. And, as we were talking about all of this, I couldn't help but think back to those 3D printed Disney designs from my blog post.
Those were pretty magical, weren't they?
They were. And I think they perfectly illustrate the power of combining creativity, passion, and a little bit of Disney magic.
They're more than just plastic objects. They're tangible reminders of beloved characters, stories, and experiences.
And they have the power to bring joy to people of all ages.
And that's what crafting is all about, isn't it? Spreading a little bit of joy and magic, one creation at a time.
Absolutely. So as you embark on your next crafting adventure, whether it's 3D printing, sewing, painting, or anything in between. Remember to infuse your work with love, attention to detail, and a dash of that Disney magic.
And don't be afraid to think big, dream big, and create something truly extraordinary.
Because the world needs more magic. And who better to create it than us crafters?
Here.
Well, that brings us to the end of another inspiring crafting journey. Thank you so much for joining us today. Be sure to check out the show notes for links to all the resources we discussed. And don't forget to sign up for the Crafting Made Simple newsletter for even more crafting tips, tricks, and inspiration.
It's been a pleasure crafting with you all today.
Until next time, happy crafting, everyone.